Now, viewers, the race to the White House is turning out to be no less than an edge-of-the-seat thriller. The ferocity of the contest is multiplying every single hour as the D-Day approaches. Both the candidates, former President Donald Trump and current Vice President Kamala Harris, like clashing gladiators in the Colosseum, are leaving no stone unturned to win the votes. This battle is most intense in the 7 swing states that are set to hold the key to the White House. It's that moment in the presidential election in which everyone seems to be picking a side. There is mighty Elon Musk openly endorsing Donald Trump. On the other hand, there are global celebrities like Taylor Swift, Jennifer Lopez, Beyonce, George Clooney, Harrison Ford endorsing Kamala Harris. Can the celebrity influencers swing the US presidential elections? Do they hold sway among the Indian diaspora? There are more than 5.2 million people of Indian origin residing in the United States today. Now, experts are of the opinion that Indians settled in the US have the potential and the political pelf to swing votes in the key battleground states. The world is watching and waiting. Who will enter the Oval Office? Will there be a potent India factor in the US presidential election? For more on this, let me straight away go across to Malvika, who's been tracking all the developments very, very closely for our viewers from the United States of America. Malvika, good evening to you. Just a few hours are left before the D-Day in America. Firstly, how is the race looking like right now?
Well, it's a very intense race, as you were mentioning, because both the sides are leaving no stone unturned to woo voters. So far, 72 million people have cast early votes. And on the D-Day, we are expecting that record number of people will cast their votes. Both parties are now going door to door, knocking on people's doors and asking them to get out and vote, because the feelings amongst the people are very strong for either sides. And it remains to be seen which side is going to win. Yesterday, I was at a Kamala Harris rally event in the state of Virginia, and we saw that there was a lot of intense pressure on the volunteers to knock on each door.
Right. Now, Malvika, before I let you go, a quick question on the swing states. The role of swing states is going to be very important. That, in a way, holds the key to victory or the key to the White House. How is it looking like there? And, you know, the importance of Indian diaspora, especially in the swing states. Where are they seem to be swinging?
Well, you know, it's very difficult to predict right now. There are 7 swing states, and both the candidates are neck to neck. Traditionally, Indians have voted for the Democratic Party because it has had a softer stance as far as immigration is concerned. There are 5 congressmen right now at the federal government level, and most of them are from the Democratic Party. But that said, Indians are very influential. They are wealthy, most of them. 5 to 6% of the US population comprises of Indian immigrants. But they contribute taxes to the tune of $200 to $300 billion. So it's a very influential bloc in that sense. And Trump has been emphasizing that he's going to cut taxes for the wealthier classes of the society. Right. And there are some Indian immigrant voters who are tilting towards voting for Trump.
All right, Malvika Jain, appreciate you joining us with all of those details. Malvika will be bringing our viewers the fastest updates from the United States of America for the big day in the American politics. Let's now move on and welcome our guest joining us on the broadcast this evening, Narender Reddy, Republican candidate, Georgia State Assembly. We also have with us Christopher Hale, Democratic strategist, live with us this evening. Good evening to all of you. Narender Reddy, let me ask you first, specifically about the India factor. You know, on one hand, we've got Kamala Harris, who's got Indian origin as an advantage, even though she doesn't seem to be using it too much for her advantage. On the other hand, we have Donald Trump, who's got a very interesting bonhomie factor when it comes to the Indian diaspora and Indians specifically, including the Prime Minister. So, you know, what do you think? Where is this race headed?
The race is going to be tight, but the media is saying, but it is not going to be that tight if you look at the realistic, because Kamala Harris is not leading by a huge margin or anything. It is, they say the race is tight. Whenever the media says race is tight in this country, that means Republicans are leading by 2 to 3 points. For example, I am from Georgia. Here it is, they say it is race is tight, but I'm in the field now because I'm working for my own election. I'm doing my own campaign, but I talk to the people, voters. What they say is different from what the media is saying. Georgia is going to be 100% sure going to go to Trump.
Okay.
Because last time he lost by only 11,780 votes out of 6 million votes. So last time it was very close, but this time he is going to win by at least 3 to 4 points.
Okay.
You're asking something else?
Interesting. Christopher Hale, do you agree with what Mr. Narender Reddy has said, that whatever media is presenting, the reality on the ground is much different?
I would put a slight different spin on it. I think that he is correct that there has been historic underestimations of former President Trump in 2016. In fact, even bigger in 2020. I will say this, though. In the last election in 2022, my party, the Democratic Party, outperformed the polling by a good 3 or 4 points. I think what will be interesting, I'm here in Pittsburgh this week with the Harris campaign. I think that actually it'll be a razor-tight election, but historically, if there's a polling error, it goes the same way for all candidates. So it could be 3 or 4 points for Harris, 3 or 4 points for Trump. But I do think at the end of the day, this is a razor-tight election. I don't know that it will be Donald Trump on election day. I know the Harris campaign here in the state of Pennsylvania is strong. I also know across the country, the Harris campaign is strong. And I'll say this, I think that in a close election, a great campaign cannot take a losing candidate and make him a winner. But if you're down 1 or 2 points, a great ground game can get you over the top. So I think, obviously I'm a Democrat in the room, I think it'll be a close race, but I'm not convinced that Donald Trump has the lead that you suggest in Georgia, here in Pennsylvania, and across the battleground states. I think it's very tight.
Okay, so we've spoken about the India factor here. Now, another factor that I wanted to discuss with both my guests, it is about the celebrity endorsement that we are getting for both the candidates. It's out there. Narender Reddy, who is going to be the more popular celebrity influencer among the key voters, especially in the swing states. We've got Elon Musk and a few others here. On the other hand, for Harris, you've got, Beyonce, Jennifer Lopez, Taylor Swift, and many other, who's who from Hollywood coming out and openly endorsing her. How much of a celebrity influence can help swing the elections?
I'm glad you asked me that question. Celebrities are not really a big factor in these elections. Particularly, people are looking at the economy as the #1 item. Celebrities always, they live in luxury, so people are not paying that attention. But you brought up the Taylor Swift. People like Taylor Swift can impress and influence young voters. Beyond that, they cannot go much higher. If you notice, Republicans brought that Elon Musk doesn't mean that he's a celebrity. The people look at him like he's a technocrat. He has the future. He has the vision for this country. That's how the people look at it. Also, in the past, in the previous question, to answer your question, whether Indians are impressed by how they are dealing with. One thing for sure, I didn't hear much from the Indian community about Kamala Harris being an Indian.
Okay.
The thing is, they are not looking at us as like an Indian only, that's why we need to vote. But in general, Indians are 75% are used to vote for the Democrats, and only 25% used to vote for the Republicans. But in this election, that is coming down to 50-50.
Okay.
But they can make an impact on election results, particularly in Georgia. 130,000 votes are there from Indians.
Okay.
If they vote, that will be an addition to Trump.
Interesting. Last question, Christopher Hale. Now, in India specifically, politicians get celebrities to woo the voters. How is it like in America? Because we are seeing many big names coming out in full support of Kamala Harris. How much of a difference do you think that can make for Harris' campaign?
About zero. I mean, honestly, celebrity endorsements really did matter. We would be finishing up Hillary Clinton's second term. John Kerry would have been elected in 2004. Al Gore in 2000. I wish celebrity endorsements had carried because my party would do better. But the reality of it is they don't really make much of a difference at the end of the day. I do think there are two small exceptions. Taylor Swift and Elon Musk have audiences that are traditionally fall outside of the spheres of people who vote. So non-voters. So a Taylor Swift endorsement does matter on the margins. A Elon Musk endorsement does matter on the margins. Ironically, both of those groups, they matter to people under 35. So
All right.
those are the two possibilities.
Interesting point of view there. Christopher Hale, Narender Reddy, I appreciate both of you for joining us on this interesting discussion on the historic moment that the United States of America is going to witness in just a few hours from now, if I can say that, because the D-Day is just coming closer. Thank you for the moment for joining us. It's going to be our top focus ahead as well. Viewers Times Now is going to be your destination to get the fastest updates on this big day for America and what would it mean really for India.